Sha-na-na-na-na-na-na, sha-na-na-na-na.
Okay, everybody, this is Laura with Jot and Tittle Vintage Typewriters. Welcome. Today we're going to do a tutorial video for a 1961 Royal Heritage. Take a look at this guy. The exterior on this one is really in perfect condition, but anyway, this is a video to show you how to use yours. Possibly you found one at a garage sale or estate sale, or maybe in a family member's attic or shed, and you want to know how to use it. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to show you how to do that. Now, first of all, you probably want to know what year your Royal Heritage is. And to do that, or to just know your serial number, you're going to move your carriage over to the right. And to do that, there's a lever on either side, a little metal tab, and you just pull that in, move your carriage over. And right here, stamped on the left side on the metal frame, is a letter with a dash and then some numbers, and that is going to be your serial number. Then you can go to typewriterdatabase.com and look that up and find out some information on your typewriter. So, okay, let's go ahead and get started. We'll start from the back and we're going to work our way forward. And you just saw that this is I called this the carriage. This one, again, to move the carriage, you just pull in that tab. You can hear the bell. And the carriage is going to move as far as you have the margins set. Okay, so I just moved out the margins, so I've got the full length of the carriage. Now, on this Royal Heritage, it has magic margins, and that's those red buttons you see. So to initially set them, it's pretty easy. You just move your carriage to where you want your left margin, and there's you'll see there's centimeters up here, 10, 20, 30, 40. So if you want to use that as a guide or just eyeball it, whatever you want, set your carriage kind of centered line. So you'll see this little pointed area. That's going to show you where your letter is going to type. So I'm going to set mine right there, which it looks like it's right on, well, I guess mine's on 12. And then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to eyeball it again and just press. And on the right margin, the reason the bell goes off when you set it. Okay, sorry about that interruption. So it's designed to, that bell goes off when you hit your margin and you come close to it. So that's why when you set it on the right margin, it's going to go off. Now that I have them set, it's a little more, it's a kind of a different process to move them, to move the margins. Now, if I want to make the margins narrower, I just do exactly what I just did. Find a place, hit the button, and set it. So let's make our margins narrow. We'll do here, here, but now, and so now you can see I have a pretty narrow margin. But now, let's say I want to make my margins wider. What I need to do is, while holding down the red, at the same time, release the carriage. And so I use my 2 fingers there, and then move your carriage to where you want it and release. Same with this side. Press down, hold, move, release the carriage and move, and then lift up. And so now you see I have a huge margin. So that's how you use your magic margins. Let's go ahead and set them in. Now that you know how to do the margins, I'm going to load a piece of paper. And the paper goes right here behind the roller. Just set it there and turn the handle. And that's how you load your paper. Now, if you have difficulty loading your paper, sometimes there's dirt and grime that can get caught underneath there, or if it's been sitting for a really long time, sometimes the rollers underneath can get flattened and you would need those replaced, and you'd have to look for a service person in your area. Okay, so you'll see my paper loaded really nicely. It's nice and even, but if it had been uneven, then this is a paper release lever. You just pull that forward, and you can move your paper around. When you've got it where you want it, release it. Make sure your paper goes underneath this metal piece, and voila. Actually, I made it, there we go. That's better. Over here on the left side, we have our line selector. You'll see a 1, 2, and 3 on your typewriter. And what that is, when you hit your return handle, which is right here, and it takes you to the beginning of the line, but it also advances you. And so it's going to advance either 1, 2, or 3 lines. Now this, I believe, yep. So this is like a variable spacer or roller release, whatever you want to call it. But you pull that forward and that releases the roller, so you have you can adjust it a little bit easier if you want. But it also, and I don't, unless you're gonna be doing your own cleaning and repair, it also is the release lever to take your roller out. But I am not going to show you how to do that. So that is that part of the typewriter. Now we're going to open up this cover, and the way you do that is some typewriters you grab this and you pull. Don't do that with the Royals because they have a release lever, and to release it you just press this little Royal logo and that pops up. Now if you happen to forget, which I have done, and this gets bent, you can just kind of bend it back forward a little bit, but just be gentle so you don't break it. All right, here's the interior. You have your basket and your type bars, and you have the ribbon. Your typewriter takes a universal ribbon, and they're easy to find. We have them on our website at jotandtittletypewriters.com. You can also go to our Etsy shop and get them there, but you get a better price on our website because we don't have Nexus anywhere, so you don't have to pay sales tax. So just an FYI. Okay, the ribbon, we put new ribbon in all of our typewriters, but let's say you have your original spools. We do have an option on our website called custom ribbon. And if you click on that, you send us your spools and we'll put fresh ribbon on it for you and send it back. Okay, once you put your ribbon in, and it's easy, you just lift out your spool and put it back in, and you just have to make sure it's threaded through all the guide wires. And the best way that I know how to tell you to do that is to look at a photo, up close photo we have of this area, and you can find that on the product listing link in the description below. That'll help you just see how it should be threaded through there. Now, when you do put your spools in, make sure black is on top, red is on bottom, and that the ribbon comes over the top and then around the bottom. Same for this one, ribbon around the top and then around, and then make sure it's threaded through these guide wires here. When you get to the end of your spool and your ribbon, it is not the end of the ink. Just reverse the direction of your spool right here, and you can reverse the direction of your ribbon dozens and dozens of times before you need to replace your ribbon because there's a lot of ink in these ribbons. Okay, right here is your color selector. It's on black right now for me, but flip down, it's red. And if you flip all the way up, it goes to white, which is stencil setting. You will never use that. And if by some chance it gets pushed up there, you're gonna have trouble typing. And so don't panic, there's nothing wrong with your typewriter. If something happens when you're typing and it's not working properly, stop, don't panic. Try two things. One, reverse the direction of your ribbon. And two, make sure that your color selector is firmly on red or black. And then third, also make sure your ribbon hasn't come out anyway. And 90% of the time that's going to solve your problem if you're typing away and then all of a sudden it's not working. Okay, let's go down here and we're going to talk about our tabs. On this typewriter, they call them columns. They call them columns. But we also call them tabs. And you see a clear button, and then you have a set. And then your actual tab button is right here. So right now, I think I've cleared them. Yep. So to set, you just go where you want to go. Let's say right here, and just hit set. And there you go. And if you want to hit clear, and there you go. That's so easy. Here's your backspace. Backspace does not erase, but sometimes you make a mistake, and in fact, you will make a mistake. That's just part of typing. You can probably erase with an eraser, but we don't recommend that because all the little eraser pieces fall down inside, and that can cause some problems. But if you do that, make sure you clean out your typewriter every time you use it. But backspace, you can type over or X through or line through, whatever you want to do to address your mistakes. Margin release, when you get to the end of the margin, you might be in the middle of a word. In this case of this particular typewriter, this one, as soon as that bell dings, that carriage is done. So there is like no grace on this typewriter. So I hit margin release, finish my word, and then I can hit the return handle. And by the way, if you did not know what the bell is for, it's to tell you are at the end of your line. So that's your margin release. And then one more thing I'm going to show you is over here. My finger is underneath it. And I just pressed it down and press it up. This is a carriage lock. And so if you're not using it, or you're going to be, if you're going to be moving it around, taking it with you somewhere, you center your carriage, press this down, and then sometimes you just have to tap your carriage and it'll lock in place. And if you have yours and you've got it out and you can't figure out why your carriage isn't moving, check your carriage lock. It's over here on the left side. And then you just flip it up, and now you've got your carriage. All right, so that is how you use a Royal Heritage. I will leave you by typing a few lines, but thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, and we hope to see you around.